Okay, so today we have the Smiths and Still Ill. This, of course, is a live performance from the Rank album, and I've been doing a few of these songs lately, and some people have said, why not just do them all? And I kind of agree, because again, I wanted to redo some of my Smiths reactions, because the first time I did them, I didn't really know what I was doing, and they were done poorly and all of that, so I'm happy to come back and react to some Smiths songs that I have not listened to live, and watch them go in the prime here. So yeah, this is, of course, from 1986, but was put on the Rank album that came out in 88. But let's get into it, talk about it after. Still Ill is one of my favorite Smith songs, but that takes in a lot of songs. But let's get into it. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Quirky. Taking their time.
Ask me why your eyes spit in your eye. Look, we can't cling to the old dreams anymore. No, we cannot cling to those dreams. Does the body rule the mind, or does the mind rule the body? I don't know. Ask me why am I sorry? Oh, ask me why I die. And if you must go to work tomorrow, well, if I'm with you, I really won't bother. For there are brighter sides to life, and I should know, because I've seen them, oh, but not often.
And there it cuts off there. I just love the crowd yelling. And Morrissey, I gotta say, I laughed at one point there. Might as well make this off the top since I talked about the crowd. He looked, and this is very typical of him because I've said it before, but watching him do live performances, even today, people run up on stage, hug him, and, he accepts it. And watching him, I guess, touch someone in the crowd's hands, and it looks like he wrapped his hands on his pants or whatever. Like, he looked at his hand like, what the fuck is on me? I don't know. It looked like the person in the crowd's hand was sticky or something. And that made me laugh anyway. But Morrissey, one more time here, just to talk about him off the bat, so exaggerated. I mean, it seemed like the whole band, especially, they were just, I think I was going to say showing off, and that really comes to mind with Johnny Marr, because he's like doing a Pete Townsend thing, whatever, whatever at some point, and it just looked like they're just having a lot of fun. I mean, it's a live performance. They look loose as hell, and to talk about that, yeah, Morrissey was loose as hell, exaggerated. He's got the dancing going here again too. Never took his shirt off, which I was surprised by. He had his shirt on the whole way through, and at different points, looked like he wanted to lift it up or whatever, but he didn't, and he just kind of grabbed his stomach. And him just, I don't know, lounging around, and it seemed like, I don't even know if he really was, but it seemed like he was smiling or kind of laughing at different points, and that he was almost making himself laugh or whatever, just because of his exaggerated growls and moans. And when he talked about spitting in your eye, he almost didn't really even say the line. He just kind of did the motion, kind of did the voice effect, and I was just, it was very intriguing, very entertaining, and just, I don't know, it seemed like a fun live version. And that one thing I was happy to do this for was Mike Joyce. And I feel like I've just been singing the praises of Mike Joyce through the, I don't know if it's 3 or maybe 4 up to this point of the live Smiths things that I've done through the Rank album now. But I just forgot how good he was, how good he is, whatever, on his drums. And that shuffling rhythm, and the little hi-hat work that he does too was just so integral to the track, to the rhythm section, to the frantic feel of the track too. I mean, what he's doing on the drums fits perfectly with, Johnny Marr's, again, chiming. I think I used that word last week, but I gotta use it again. His chiming, showman, I guess you could say as well here, at least in the live performance. Energetic, frantic guitar work. Again, the drums match Johnny so well on that. You got Andy Rourke, who I don't think he was ever really shown in this video, the person recording that. They kind of just showed Craig Gannon and like I mentioned, Johnny, Mike, and Morrissey, but you didn't really see much of Andy. But you could hear Andy. Just a prominent bass line, and you talk about how nobody else is talking. You talk about how Mike is driving the song in a way through his drum work, but of course that kind of almost that does kind of match Andy Rourke's work on the bass guitar here. Funky. I mean, I was talking about the word funky, but he's always melodic. He's always funky. Andy was a superb bassist, and again, it sucks. It's just random to say, but it sucks he's passed away, because Andy Rourke was so nice. And I mean, I don't know, it's just like, out of all the band members, of course, I don't think anyone had a bad thing to say about Andy. I mean, lots of people have said stuff about Morrissey, of course, and even Johnny and Mike, whatever, but Andy was such a nice fella, and he was such a great bassist, and he could be as melodic as hell with anybody, and he and Johnny worked so well together as bass and guitarist, and of course with Mike as well, and the drum on the backbeat. Anyway, but then of course Craig Gannon, and I might as well mention Craig here too. I did talk about him for a second there when I mentioned him, but he gave an extra lift to the track as well. He helped out with Johnny on the guitar work there too. I love the looks that Johnny was giving Craig at different points too. And again, I mentioned it last week only because I found out about it last week, but Craig was like 19 or 20 at this point doing this. I mean, it's just nuts. I can't even imagine. When I was 19 or 20, I was in university. I can't imagine being in a band or whatever, playing live with a big band like the Smiths in 1986. That's just fucking wild. But anyway, like I said, somebody said once, he gave the band an extra oomph, gave them an extra lift, and made their sound bigger, I guess you could say, and it expanded that sound, and so just really enjoyed all of that, and that chiming feel of the track, and Morrissey's wailing again, whoa, I can't really replicate it all, but it's one of the most poetic songs, I guess you could say, he ever did, one of the most vulnerable tracks he ever did as well, and those lyrics, I feel like as well why I like it, not only because of the sound, again, because of that shuffling, driving rhythm, that beat that just doesn't quit, but also because it almost like, I don't know if but like it doesn't really even sound like it. Like, cause I'm thinking of like How Soon Is Now. I mean, that kind of starts off like a train horn, but this one almost has that kind of effect as well. I don't know. It just comes in and it just grabs you. But anyway, the sound anyway. But with the lyrics though, I mean, they're very relatable, at least for me as well, as somebody, you know, with depression, I should say, and somebody who takes antidepressants. I mean, this song is an antidepressant in a way as well. And Morrissey's being vulnerable here. As I mentioned, he's talking about his own problems, and from what I've seen, and it's weird because I never really think about what Smith's songs mean, you know, like I do with all these reactions, and I did before with different Smith's tracks, but I haven't thought about the meaning of the track. I've just sang along to them forever now. But again, when you think about what Morrissey's talking about here, he's talking about, I guess you might say, his homosexuality, his own mental illness, these things that were kind of shunned, especially even back in the 1980s, and by some people. And he's talking about England, of course, talking about just the downtrodden, whatever you want to say there. And anyway, so it's a very personal, relatable, vicious, you might say at different points too, track for the band. And of course, it's a fan favorite too. A track that many Smiths fans think is, you know, one of, if not the best track from the Smiths. But anyway, let's get into these lyrics now. And of course I know them, but we're going to get into them anyway, because what the hell. So with the first verse, I decree today that life is simply taken and not giving. England is mine, it owes me a living. One more time, I just loved his growls and his craziness when he's singing some of these lines, especially the first two. But again, it's typical Morrissey. And when I first reacted to the song, I don't think I knew what that really meant yet. But all these years later, yeah, this is such a Morrissey line. It's such a dull thing to say, but it is. Life is simply taken and not giving. Talking about England there too. England. It seems like you think about England. I don't live in England, but it seems like it's always raining or something. I know right now in the summertime it's very hot. I know I've seen a lot of stuff like that on Instagram and TikTok and such. I mean, people are just dying of heat over there. I'm sweating, my God. But you think about, it's tedious living in England. It's difficult to live there. I should at least be given, you know, money, or I should at least be given a chance, or, you know, it owes me a living. You know, why am I paying for all these different things? Whatever the hell. I can't make ends meet tonight, and I live in this place, and this all just comes to mind anyway. It's simply taking and not giving back. And then we go on, but ask me why and I'll spit in your eye. Ask me why and I'll spit in your eye. Again, if somebody asks him why he thinks this, it seems like, I don't know if he's ignorant, but it's almost like it's a thing in his head that he feels and he knows is right, but it feels like if someone asks him, why do you think like this? He's just going to think that they're making fun of him or they're mocking him or whatever. And anyway, so I just love how Morrissey's being pretty upfront there, pretty straightforward and pretty blunt as well. I'll spit in your eye. A little bit violent. The song sounds violent, the sound of it, my God. But we cannot cling to the old dreams anymore. No, we cannot cling to those dreams. Does the body... These next two lines, so many poignant friggin' lines in this track. Does the body rule the mind, or does the mind rule the body? I don't know. And I just love, it's like he asks the question and he says, I don't know. He's being honest. He's being upfront. And that's one thing too, when you think about, if you want to go the way of mental illness, whatever, depression, all those different things, or homosexuality or sexuality, whatever it is, does the mind rule that? Or, you know, where does it come from? The body or the mind? Is it a chemical imbalance? Whatever. And Morrissey's saying, I don't know. I'm just saying, what is it? What do you think? And even some scientists don't know. I mean, why do I feel like, what is depression? I mean, all these different things come to mind. And what is isolation? What is anxiousness? And we know Morrissey's kind of full of anxiety and depression at different times in his life anyway. But yeah, it just hits so much, again, as somebody who feels, who has felt those things. Anyway, was there anything? Oh, the whole dreaming thing though too. It seems like there's a talk of aging, of course, in the song too. We're getting older now. We can't cling to those old dreams anymore. Society's changed. We have progressed. Maybe we're not progressing the way we've wanted to, but jobs have changed. Society's changed. Everything has changed. We can't cling on to those old dreams anymore. That's old news. Then we have the chorus. Under the iron bridge, we kissed, and although I ended up with sore lips, and of course, I probably mentioned this in the first reaction I did, but this was borrowed, as it says here in a genius.com annotation, borrowed from Viv Nicholson, famous for having said right after her husband won a fortune in the football pools that she would spend, and she kept her word. There you go there. But she also said something about how they kissed under the bridge and then they took off their clothes and they went fucking nuts on each other. So yeah, Morrissey kind of stole that line, talking about ended up with iron or those sore lips because they were just biting each other. My God. Either way, it just wasn't like the old days anymore. No, it wasn't like those old days. Am I still ill? And am I still ill? It just says, so am I still ill? It's just asking people, he's looking for answers. Am I still ill because I feel this way? Am I still ill because of this depression, because of my sexuality? I mean, all that comes to mind. And, what do you think? And I feel like, again, I know the 80s, has been, some people have even said in the comments, on my comments, that the 80s were better than now, when they were gay. But of course, still, you could get beat up. Even today, you can still get beat up, of course. I mean, there's countries you don't want to go to if you're gay or trans or whatever it is. But anyway, so I just think about all those things. Am I still ill in your eyes? To the person that is against me, to my haters. What it's just, I don't know, it encompasses so much. Either way, it just makes you think. It's thought provoking as hell. Just that simple line. Yeah. We have the second verse though. Does the body rule the mind, or does the mind rule the body? I don't know. And then we go on, ask me why and I'll die. Oh, ask me why and I'll die. He's very, what's the word? He's got a bit over the top here with some of the lines, but again, he's very punchy. He's a little bit vicious and all those different things. And what I mentioned earlier, he's very, I forget the word I said earlier, but violence. He's very violent in this track too. Well, ask me why and I'll die. Ask me why I'll spit in your eye. I mean, he doesn't want to be asked about these things. And if you must go to work tomorrow, well, if you were, I wouldn't bother. If I were you, I wouldn't bother, for there are brighter sides to life, and I should know because I've seen them, but not very often. And I feel like in the live version here, he kind of switched that up a bit, but either way, he was just having fun with it. And there's that's one of those things, of course, Morrissey. There's a famous clip, or a clip that has been used in a lot of Morrissey compilations I've seen. I don't know, that's on my TikTok, but, where somebody asks him about jobs and such, and he just says that he hates the thought of working a 9-to-5 job or a daily job, whatever the hell. That seems like hell to him. And, so that comes to mind, and his thoughts on work and going to work tomorrow, I wouldn't if I were you, and that's him being real. Thank God he became a musician. Thank God that's how he made his money, because it doesn't seem like he'd be able to work a job, like I said, a daily job or whatever. Anyway, but there's more to life, I feel like, than jobs. And I mean, that's such a relatable thing even today, but still, you got to pay somehow to live. And I mean, that's getting harder and harder. I mean, this song has only become more relatable and more relevant to this day, even today. Then we had the chorus one more time at the end. Under the iron bridge, we kissed. And no, it wasn't like those old days anymore. No, it wasn't like those days. Am I still ill? Am I still ill? And I didn't really mention it last time when I talked about the chorus, but the old days anymore, when kissing this person, it seems like, well, for Viv and the real life story, she had a time of her life kissing her husband, I guess you would say. For Morrissey here, it seems like even the kiss wasn't like the old days anymore. And again, is he kissing somebody he's not in love with, or somebody that's the wrong gender for him? Or I don't know, that comes to mind again too. But nothing is like the old days anymore. Am I still ill? And it's just such a poignant track. Just beautiful lyrics too, and they just say so much and have a lot of feelings that a lot of people continue to experience to this day. And so it's just one of my favorite Smith songs, and not only because of the lyricism, but also, like I said, the sound of it and just how punchy it is and aggressive it is. Thanks to Mike Joyce. Thanks to everybody, I guess, but especially Mike. But anyway, I guess that's all I'm gonna say. So thanks for watching. Like I said at the top, people have recommended me just react to the whole Rank album at this point, and I'm happy to do so. I love all the songs that they did live on that, and what the hell. So we'll probably back here for another Smith's Friday next week, so stay tuned for that. But thanks for watching, thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, all that stuff. I'm gonna finish off my coffee crisp Canadian thing, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.